This is writing equations in one variable, part one. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what is an equation. An equation is a math sentence that uses an equal sign to show that two expressions are equal. Expressions can have any operation symbol, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, variables, and numbers, but they do not include an equal sign. When you see an equal sign, now you have an equation. So we have two sides. We can have an expression and an answer, or we can have two expressions equal to each other. When we're looking at words and trying to transfer them into an equation, we're looking for words like is, the same as, or equals, which help us determine where the equal sign will go in our equation. So let's take a look at some examples. So this first problem here says the sum of a number n and 7 is 15. I'm looking for two words. One word that's going to indicate which operation I'm going to use, and one word which is going to tell me where to put the equal sign. So I see the word sum here, which means I'm going to be adding. A sum is the answer to an addition problem. And I see the word is here. It says this is 15. This is where my equal sign is going to go. So I'm adding here a number n and 7. And it's going to equal a total of 15. This next one says a number y decreased by 4 is 3. Okay, so decreased by tells me I'm going to be subtracting, and is where my equal sign is going to go. So this time I'm subtracting. So y minus 4 is equal to 3. In our third example, we see 12 times a number p equals 48. So times tells me I'm going to be multiplying, and equals is where my equal sign is going to go. So I have 12 times p equals 48. Now once we get into a lot of expressions and equations, we stop using this multiplication sign because it does kind of look like the letter x, which is also a variable. So when you have a multiplication problem, you're going to write it without the multiplication sign. So I would write this as just 12p equals 48. And if you see something written without an operation symbol, two things next to each other, you're multiplying them. All right, let's take a look at a few more examples. Here we have 9 less than a number b equals 2. Well, less than tells us we're going to be subtracting, and equals is where equal sign is going to go. So I am subtracting 9 less from a number b. So I have to subtract 9 from a number b, and it equals 2. Our next example says the product of a number g and 5 is 30. The product is the answer to a multiplication problem, and is where equal sign is going to go. So in this problem, I would have g times 5 equals 30. But again, I don't want to have this multiplication sign in here because it looks like a variable. So I'm going to rewrite this as 5 times g equals 30. I changed it so the number would be first. Order doesn't matter in multiplication, and I got rid of my multiplication symbol. In our next example, a number k is increased by 10, and that is the same as 24. So increased by means I'm going to be adding. The same as is where my equal sign is going to go. So I have k is being added to 10, and it is equal to 24. In our last example, we have the quotient of a number q and 4 is 12. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. And the word is where equal sign is going to go. So this time we're dividing q and 4, and our answer is